Yes, welcome. Pleasant good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is the Reggaecy, where we endeavor to preserve the legacy of reggae and dancehall. You understand? All right, my name is Randy. You have Oliver in the blue shirt, Shade in the black shirt with the pendant. You know what I mean? Yeah, the crystal they mean something, but you don't know people, and that's how we think there. Yeah. At any rate now, we have a few topics we get into, we discuss tonight. It's not as long as the weeks prior with the amount of stuff, but maybe with the opinions, it might be a lot, depending, but we'll see. The first one we're getting into, Billboard recognizing Verzuz, but leaving off Bunty and Beanie. You know, after magazine.
Stink.
Yeah, after magazine, that is. Rather than me share my topic, I'm going to circle the room, starting with Oliver this time, and then Shane can kick in right after.
Wow. All right. Jano, that one is a heavy topic, but I try to analyze it from multiple angles because it's either I feel like there's a few sides to this thing. Now, we don't know the verses happened. Dancehall represented Bunty and Beanie.
Hold on. Explain why it's Verzuz. That's my bad.
No, me not gonna explain that. But
okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, yeah. So well, Verzuz is the brainchild of Swiss Beats and Timbaland. It's like a virtual battle, so to speak.
That was great.
Artists based off them catalog over the years. Yeah, and that was created. Well, it came about because Swiss Beats and Timbaland actually went at it as far as with their battle.
A few months ago, or maybe close to a year.
Yeah.
So why?
Right. And I guess it sparked some kind of thinking in their mind, and then I guess when the pandemic came about, this corona pandemic, it light a fuse and then decide to do the virtual battles, and it caught on really crazy, right? So hence we have Verzuz, that is spelled Verzuz, or Z if you come from somewhere else, we pronounce it like that. Now back to Oliver, since Oliver did a share.
So yeah, them have the Verzuz, and the Verzuz was developed during the corona as a way to have some kind of entertainment or shows, right? And it was for showcase their platform, their idea. Like you said, Swiss and Timbaland had a showcase of their hits before, right? They, at some point, brought dancehall artist Beenie Man and Bounty Killer on the show. I think this was in May. The reggae and dancehall community showed up. They were there almost, I think about, call it 500,000 viewers live.
Yeah, Memorial Weekend it was.
Right, big thing. So that was exciting for the culture. Now, fast forward, Billboard put out an article talking about the Verzuz and the impact it's had on their genre, right? Lexus come and make him comment, but that's further down the line. I'm going to give you my perspective. And I think it's somewhat in line with what Lexus is saying. There's a belief in dancehall or reggae culture that we have the trademark, so to speak, on clashing. It's a big part of our culture, yes, and we've been doing it for years. But it's almost like you can't stop do something and another person start do it and then you start complaining, so them do it. And it'll do better than you. You haven't been doing it. For whatever reason, Sting is not in existence anymore. Some people even complain say it's not working anymore.
Explain Sting.
Huh?
You better touch on what Sting is.
So Sting is like a live show that was around after the day after Christmas, Boxing Day at Jamaica. I would say that was Jamaica's second biggest show after Sumfest. right? People used to show up and it always was based around, centered around a clash or a few clashes. Back in the day, you have Ninja Man and Super Cat, you have Shabba and Ninja. You have a bunch of historic clash.
Definitely.
So I get it, it's rooted deep within our culture. Sound system clash, whatever you call it, we're always involved in a clash. But it's almost like the kickback when I see and people being upset, I'm saying to myself, it's almost saying like you have the trademark to music, right? Nobody else can go in a booth and record. It's not much different. It's doing some kind of musical act. Okay, they invited us on their platform. We did not create this platform, right? It was created for Americans and hip-hop community. Billboard is the one that put out the article. I don't know if Billboard passed this on to Timbaland or Swiss first before they put approval before the cover, but the cover was the cover. They did not put all of the clashes either on that cover. They put even clashes to me that weren't even as big. So I don't know who the person is that did the front. It could have just been anyone. They probably didn't even know about dancehall that much either, right? Bounty, being other artists felt slighted, and I get it. I totally get it. But at the same time, it's not our forum. We performed for one night, that's it. They didn't have to even do that for us. We didn't have to do it anymore. People out here saying, oh, see Tony Mataran and I did attack. I said before, I don't agree with the me versus you and the all the way black. Music is music. I still think we should be trying to mend those relationships, work on those relationships. And I've said before, the way all the community and the genre act, I personally believe, and they can disagree, this is why people do not want to have anything to do with the music. Because almost like we bring tenement yard behavior, go a professional.
Hold on, when they say the music, clarify with what music? Jamaican music?
Jamaican music are the artists.
Yes.
And it's not all of them. But at the same time, when it comes to corporate, and whether reggae or dancehall want believe this, it's a freaking business. So you have to act like a business. You have to dress like a business, and your business have to intact. This is business. Billboard is looking at business. Dancehall is not their genre. Right? And we need to accept that. And Alexis touched on it and focus on building our business. We're business lacking. And we've said this before. I mean, I don't want to go in and on type, but it is the problem.
Mr.
We have no structure. And I mean, I don't think it's as simple as, oh, we not support one another. That's on surface. To me, Major R. Tony didn't touch on anything that all of us don't know. The problem is we don't have the ability. They're saying, oh, if them did call Bounty or Beanie, them wouldn't do the show. Why would they? Can you compare to Swiss or Timbaland Pockets or a Puff Daddy who was also supporting the event? We cannot. And a business. So why should I come for $10 when we can go over so for $1,000? It's business. If we had our business right and can pay Bounty and Beanie, then they would show up. But we expect to go, oh, we are family discount and blah, blah, blah. No, get the platform there.
You know if Bounty and Beanie actually got anything like paid or?
I don't know, but I'm saying in general, even it's not just when the collateral isn't just money. The collateral is the platform that Swiss has. So to me, for build us, I agree with Lexus.
Okay. Shane, how you feel?
I mean, you know, similar sentiments. You get what I say? And at the end of the day, rap was birthed out of battle or clash as what Jamaicans would call it. But in the US, they used to call it battle rap. You get me? And from foundation, you did always have battle rap and even arenas just for that. You get what I say? So me agree with Oliver where in a lot of cases Jamaicans have the tendency to own things like
them have the monopoly pan it.
Like we own this, yes. We own reggae music, dancehall music. That is it. Right? We can't lay claim to battling lyrically over records. Right? We probably can own sound systems, or clashing sound systems, or DJs
yes,
clashing. But that's about it. You get what I'm saying?
As far as else is really doing that.
Exactly.
Right.
So as far as artists battling the next artist are having clashes, same thing. We never invent that or have a copyright on that, right? And at the end of the day, like Oliver said, Verzuz invited Bunty and Beanie to the thing. Right? If Cartel did their road, Bunty could have said, I'm over on Cartel. We are inviting her to the thing. Whatever the case is, right? Some artists got invited and turn it down in their own hip-hop community, right? So at the end of the day, we got invited to it. We as a culture got invited to it. And yes, people were appreciative of it and all of that. Now, like what Oliver said, when Billboard do a cover, right? Them believe, like said, the executives sit at one desk and them put together the cover and them say, all right, you got to pick and choose who to put on the cover. No, you have a different team entirely. We are dealing with collaterals as far as media, right? As far as promotional material and who are designing this and do that.
Right, there's different aspects.
You get what I'm saying? And not every single person that was in the whole Verzuz series was on the cover. They left out other people in their own arena as well. Nobody else complained, right? And in any event, when the whole thing done now,
but it shows we have nothing. Sorry for cut you. The fact so we complain, Shane, shows we have nothing.
Yeah, so it's like
we are grab at the littlest thing,
the smallest thing. Because okay,
this is nothing.
If you want Bunty up on the cover on Billboard,
this would have helped dancer.
So let me step in. I'm here on a point, I'm understanding the point, and I feel, but something you just said kind of mirror up not only myself, but others a certain type of way. It might have nothing maybe in monetary value or because we're not that big. We're not a big market, right? But in Jamaica, Jamaicans very proud, and this is another thing that Jamaicans are very proud of. Most Jamaicans are very proud of reggae and dancehall, right? It's a very sensitive subject because over the years, musicians worldwide have been appropriating reggae and dancehall without giving any credit to the source.
That's true.
And most of the time, the genre don't benefit in any way. Them just come, them take, and then them leave. There's no give back. No, most of the time, usually the artists not get recognized. We left to send for ourselves, and then it's an industry where we know the music industry on a scale, on a whole, this worldwide industry is something where we rarely have any representation. You know what I mean? And we not have a strong understanding of how to thrive in the environment. You understand? So I'm not saying this to say that no one is an excuse, but it is something to say when somebody go and take from the small man. If you not see it like this, me kind of see it like this. You go, you use the small man get on a thing energized, and the kind of small man very passionate and everything. We even see it in our sports.
Right.
A lot of the time the underdogs them come and give the big goal at them a huge fight, and that does spark the whole thing. You understand? So when we're gonna minimize the small man and not give him credit, I kind of feel a way about that still, But I do understand your
But who
point.
are we upset at?
So
That's my issue. Are we upset at Swiss? Are we upset at Timbaland? Or are we upset at Billboard?
In my opinion, we shouldn't be upset at Swiss. And maybe not even upset at Billboard. But we should be happy that it is proving our point of being slighted majority of the time, being used and slighted majority of the time.
So as far as being, you say you being used or slighted, right? In the event of as far as Verzuz goes, right? Would you consider it a give or a take on Verzuz part? I
would consider it both.
Right.
Because it's a bigger give on Verzuz part, right? Exactly. Because of what it did for the artist. But we came and we performed. If we didn't perform, that would have been a different story.
No, but either way, it's still a give. It's all up to you what you do with what you're given. Agree? Right. Because at the end of the day, everybody else make it seem like so no, them come and take. And that is I can't agree with that.
But that's partly our fault too. Because we're quick to let in anybody in the culture, right? I've been in Jamaica, I say, for example, Nick Cannon in Jamaica when he made a film movie. I've seen other celebrities down there. We ourselves open the doors for them. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that, but we give them the keys, right? To our culture, to everything. We sell it out, if you want to call it that, for cheap. And when we come here, it's not reciprocated. I wanted to ask, do you think this will let them invite another reggae versus clash?
Okay.
Or will Billboard look at this whole debacle?
So for the masses, for the entire viewership, Reggaecy viewership, the Reggaecy subscribers, Oliver's question is, do you think there will be another reggae dancehall battle on Verzuz?
Or even further, do you think this will affect us when other music execs or whoever are looking at what's going on?
Right. So in my opinion, now I'm going to answer the question, maybe for the audience, but I answer it for myself. I think it's a stain. It's a negative stain. You know, okay. It taints us because of how we went about demanding a solution or demanding some maybe justice then, if you want to put it that way there. I don't feel like we went about it the right way. Right? Honestly speaking, like I said this, I'm a solutions-driven person. So you say, rather than you ball out most of the time, ball out.
Fix.
Yeah, you try to figure out a way, you're going to fix or what's the solution. I didn't see any solutions being offered.
And this is because there's no business and they don't have a team. And I know it's expensive, but if they even had someone on their team as a publicist, maybe you're not paying them the equivalent, but just have a team, right?
When I said them, specify.
Meaning Bounty being whoever is complaining.
Yeah.
Before you go and start typing, talk to your team.
Talk to the public.
Oh, we deal with this. You know what? Maybe there's a way to flip this to our benefit. So instead of you go out and boom, you say, okay, Billboard now gonna do this. Me and Beanie are gonna do another Verzuz by ourselves. They can do this. Yeah. Beanie and Beanie, they just add this. So the actual two of them can come together and do a new Verzuz now.
Or a new clash.
And it probably would have people tuning just because, maybe not as much, but it would be a start. Right?
Yeah.
Then they can bring in some other one. Right? They don't want to do this. They just want to complain. Billboard, Billboard disrespect with.
But do you agree with the saying that closed mouths don't get fed?
I do believe closed mouths don't get fed. But I also believe that if you don't do, nobody's going to give it to you. So you have to go and take it. And you have to create and make your way and
Yes.
start. I mean, I don't want to say this because some people are going to get upset, right?
But say it.
Because I think that's a big part of our community's problem sometimes.
What is
We're
it?
always waiting for someone to tell us, I'm going to do this for you. Fuck that. I'm going to do it myself, even if it's small. So upon that aspect, I agree with Matarana Major.
So we have a
You
handout
start
culture then.
small. Huh?
So we have a handout culture then.
I don't know if it's a handout culture. I think it's not just Jamaica. I think it's the diaspora. We tend to look at what someone is doing to us instead of thinking, okay, I know said a man, all right, when I do a road, right? I'm going to chat the raw part now. But if you're there a road and you to move away a certain road, and you do the same business as him on the road at Jamaica, right? And in business, I cut your business now. You have to figure out a way to get back clientele, right? It's
Definitely.
the same thing. We have to figure out how to go around it.
Yeah, some people do that, or some people ball out and create a scene, or maybe even start fight.
All right,
I can tell you that the ones that are less creative, them are the one the easy way, them are more inclined to fight. You see, the thing is, don't forget that Jamaica is a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not everybody in Jamaica have the third world mentality, but it's a third world country.
That's true.
Right? And it's a poor country as well.
Yes.
Not the poorest, but it's a poor country as well.
I love my country, but...
So, that being said, this is another thing where people might not like, hear what I say, or what me I say. We are easily bought. The first man will come off and say, yo, it's here or this and that. Boom. Let them buy way.
So them can sell well cheap.
We fall for anything. You dig? You know, but at the same time still, like I said before, it's a very sensitive subject.
It is.
And appropriating someone else's culture, even if it's not Jamaican or reggae music or dancehall.
I mean, they have appropriated. People do it.
Yeah, and you know, even because you say a few things where you know me and the man we talk about perspective all the time. Right? And you say one thing, so you say closed mouths don't get fed, and that's true. You get me? But even for me, anybody know me knows I'm gonna talk, right? But if there is an issue or something that needs to be said, we come to you and say, you know, so and so and so. We have a conversation, we figure it out and see what's best to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then we have this behavior where you go online and you talk to your 2 million or whatever amount of followers you have about an issue. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes I wonder if it's just to get the buzz going or just to create a story. You know what I mean? Like it's just an opportunity to get loud and brawling.
Right.
You get me? And another thing, we talk about being proud. Now, oftentimes when we see our quote-unquote pride being displayed, me wonder if it's being proud or just being arrogant or ignorant. You get what I'm saying?
So, but yeah, for me now, all right. So, I feel that a lot of times when we ball out, all right, finish it.
I don't mean if you cut you, but just an afterthought. Imagine if them, you know, when them see that happen, then they reach out to Swiss and say, boy, you know, we feel some type of way about this and that and Ray.
I send something to Billboard.
You get what I'm saying? And then Swiss and he said, you know what? Good, you know, me like the idea of that, and then them get publicized the right way and celebrated.
Maybe him say me could do another show.
Exactly. As opposed to it becoming now a situation where you get loud and whatever, and then now there's a new thing published on Swiss Beats part. If you put them at like the biggest in at the forefront and like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get your point. The communication, the way all your communicate is very important. But again, sometimes when you feel slighted, the most immediate way for you to get a response is to ball out.
Yeah, but I think when you do
that is still a certain level of mindset.
All you have to get is the squeaky wheel, get the oil,
exactly,
and then them just go.
Because guess what happened? Because guess what happened? That the case now, right? If I'm me personally, just an example, and we do business, and I saw you approach something where you could have called me about.
Me don't know.
Guess what? Me and you and business done. You get where I come from?
I got
so
you.
There's no future for us in having a business relationship.
See, people got upset. Me not cut around it. People got upset when they was talking to Ludacris. And Ludacris made a comment that said, I hope they paid them Jamaican because they're going to get crazy if they don't get their money.
Mm-hmm.
People got upset at Ludacris. People act like who the F him is. And I think people are going mad at me right now. But I think we don't like to accept certain things about the culture.
But him right, because I saw you that behave if yo go on. Yo, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So this is what I say when I say we bring tenement yard behavior going to corporate. I understand you're frustrated, but that's not how you do business.
Yeah, I'm not wrong them to feel how them feel. But reach out professionally. You're a professional. You know, a public arena.
So
you're a legend.
So what me feel like are the solution, as with many things that emanate out of Jamaica, a lot of times we tend to ball out, right? You see, after the loud outcry subside, a lot of the people, or many, aren't willing to do the background work for change through.
Okay.
I'm seeing the same thing with the disrespect of the Rastafarian young lady by the school or the government or the courts in Jamaica.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I see a whole lot of people balling out, a whole lot of people making
no action.
Right? But where is the grassroots action for make this change and it don't ever happen to anyone else? Where is that?
A long time we had the music, right? And like Lexo said, Bob Marley did set up Tough Gang and figure out a system where we can have everything there in one place. No one has done that again. I heard Lexus say we should give our own deal. Okay, fine. I think we need to educate ourselves on the business of this thing. And I will say it again, we should go read that book, The Business of Music. But on top of that, this is another reason why I don't fight the young kids. Because they're doing it independently. And we're mad at the older people are mad at them for trying to build something, right? And they're using their old celebrity and leverage to reach out to international markets and undermine the youths them because they do it independent. But I really believe, I'm going to say it again, and I know some other people down a yard, scatter them or whoever, no support this. Leave the youth them alone and let the youth them build. Because they're doing it from grassroots. And you might not agree with the way they do it, but they own it.
There's two sides to that. So the first side, I can say, upon the improvement side and upon the youth them side, so for one, yes, we need to build our own platform, right? To market with own ideas and
platforms.
Yes. So we can have some substantial control on our product, whatever is emanating out of our country. Fine, me agree with that.
Which is the point of what we're doing here. And some people might say, little and it this, that's fine. Tyler Perry started very tiny too.
Yes.
Anyway, go ahead.
Simply, I just feel like reggae and dancehall will not grow if it doesn't expand beyond Jamaica and the Caribbean. So you see the people them want to hold on upon it like if the gatekeepers them may attack in our industry, in our reggae and dancehall industry, if it not pass a certain place and them not have something to do or them name not affiliated with it in some form, it's like they try tear it down.
They fight it, yeah. Them try to get the credit.
Yeah, because them not no claim them not no claim to the fame, so them deem it inauthentic. No.
Correct.
With the youths them, I agree with the youth them motivation and the mentality of self-start and trying to do their own thing, especially because they're able to in this climate. But there are some things that are lacking that I feel like elders need to help build and
Awesome.
point them with,
Correct. Correct.
you know?
But
Because
at the same time, what do you do? Sit down home and don't work if somebody don't want to help you?
And not only that, right? But if the elders don't show the youth them no respect, you can't contact them.
And we know
You get me?
we know the
Because
culture stays.
exactly, because if you as an elder now show me no respect, right? You know what me I do on my journey. You like me no want to hear you what you have to say. Whatever
Because
coaching you want, come give me, whatever mentorship you me tell us if you want you.
Because 90s artists never know it right out the gate either.
You
They
get me?
did not. They did not. And I think it's unfair what they're doing because back then, a lot of labels were giving out deals. They were actually going to Jamaica looking for the next Shabba.
So
These kids don't have this.
So I'm ask you then. So if we don't, and if the elders don't try to help the young youth them in some way, you know what's gonna keep happening? Every generation have to start back from scratch.
Correct.
And the needle won't get moved in any significant way. You might have a one breakout artist, you see me? But
right.
you're not gonna have everybody that kick down the door.
Yeah,
so,
and that.
I say that. Yeah, I say that for just circle and rein in everything. Ultimately, what do you guys believe is the solution to what we're seeing, and how do you feel about the fact that Bunty and Beanie got left off? Like, in as short and as circumvent way as possible. Summarize it for me so we can, move on.
Yeah, like I said, me feel just as disappointed as anybody else, right? But like me say, there's how you do. There are ways how you handle situations. You get what I say? If you're working in a corporate environment, you understand these things. You get what I'm saying? If you know a head of department meeting, certain conversation will happen, and if you're not privy to certain things, a person probably get fired in front of you and you didn't even see it or happen to know because of how they speak, because they're still being respectful, but they're being tactful as well. You get what I'm saying? I'm being, having a respectful conversation, even though they might tell us, yo, we're done with you. You get what I'm saying? So if I just feel as if they could have handled it differently. And as far as things changing in the old school artists are the legends that are still there to groom the younger generations coming up. Respect goes both ways. It can't be a situation where, okay, what you're doing is garbage and this is what you need to do, which is what I used to do 20 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
That can't work. You have to let the kids do what they're doing,
and
right? Give them the respect that they deserve, that they're working for, and show them how they can now build on that to take it to the next level. And that is the only way I feel that generation gap is going to be filled where our music and our culture is concerned.
Yeah, I get that. Some encouragement is needed. Oliver?
Exactly.
So, me personally, I don't have an issue with us being left off the cover because we weren't the only ones left off the cover. I personally believe if we're fighting about this, we're fighting about peanuts. How many people even read actual physical articles anymore? I think the main promotion from this was the actual Verzuz show. And we did what we were supposed to do. That was a showcase, then perform. You're arguing about people not giving you the credit on a magazine cover. How, to be honest, let's be real. How influential is Billboard anymore anyway? Their numbers are even always questioned nowadays.
Yeah.
Right? That aside, I think we need to focus on our own platform, building our own magazines and our own reporting agencies, right? But it's going to take a monster of an effort. What's his name? Lexus commented that Buju was having a forum and having meetings. And I can only believe him. If that was the case, that was genius. That's the way it should be done. And you should have a fraternity where you can go at meetings and talk. People are, the way he said it was like people were treating him like he was holding communist meetings, right? That show you the level of ignorance in our culture. And those are the same old artists that are now cursing the young artists that did not support that forum either, right? So, how it gonna work? Well, we said over and over upon the show, we need business infrastructure.
Yeah.
So our little small platform, even if we bring 10 people matters. If you have 15 more shows like us, bringing 10 more people, that are 150 people. But we're more worried about, yo, where the money, where the this, where the that. Yo, all of that will come. Just build a platform and keep working, right?
Yeah.
Keep showcasing the energy, keep creating. Creators make money, right?
Yes.
This, and I'm going to segue into something else, but this is when we believe in the idea, say we out, them said, no, say, we don't like talk about we are God or whatever. I don't think people understand the concept. It's not that we're God in the sense that we are compare ourselves to God, but we're God as in creators. So if you create, you're a God of the creation that you made. Not in the sense of you're a over spiritual being, but if me create that cup here, I am the God of the cup, because me create this cup. So if you create your platform, you're the God, meaning you can set all things for God. We have no say. And we complain. Just do the little thing now. Just keep pushing the little thing.
Yeah, and for close, yeah, very important points. And I'm sure, look, we can go a lot deeper. But you know, even the same article that we were just talking about, Billboard and the cover, I am certain that majority of the people that were in an uproar about it
don't buy records.
Not only don't buy records,
didn't read the article.
That too.
Because if you read the article, Bunty and Beanie was in there.
Were mentioned.
Pictures of them were there. They just weren't on the cover. Maybe they weren't satisfied.
That's an excellent point.
Maybe they weren't satisfied with that, and I understand it. But
there's a big possibility that Beanie himself or Bunty didn't even read the article either.
Before they start.
It was just a focus on the cover.
It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Don't judge a book by the cover.
Right. Which is why I say we need conversations.
We need for real and we need to have conversations.
Well, imagine how embarrassed that would be if you had made a call to have a conversation and the man him tell you, say, yo, but we talk about tuning in the article, so what the can you calling me?
No, but just imagine
that's the reason why I think and I said that sometimes the only way you get attention is when you ball out, because if them be call, whether it be Swiss or Timbaland or whomever, and the person said, okay, I understand your feelings. Yeah, we're gonna work on resolve that or change that. But look, did you read the article? Did you notice that we dedicated X amount of paragraphs to you guys in the article? Right? Then they probably would have backed off. You know, and sometimes when people ball out, they don't want to get pacified. They don't want people calm them down. They want to get a reaction. So sometimes it's self-serving as well. But like we said,
yeah, you share that shit.
Yeah. Let's kind of get past.
Let's keep working.
Billboard versus Bunty and Beanie dilemma, because it's not the end of the world, you know. But as we mentioned before, it's a very sensitive subject.